I switched over to the 5G network we have. I'm sorry, I'm shaking really bad. But anyway, so, okay, let's just start over. So the first live I did went out. So I'm just going to start over for what I was saying before. So, I did my hair. I in my first live, I put my hair product in. So unfortunately, you're not going to see that. I'm not going to re-explain it because I'm thinking about doing a full in-depth curl video. Anyway, so I was talking about how I am currently shopping for a new car because my car keeps needing fixed, long story short. So stay tuned for updates on that. I don't know when I'm going to be getting a new one, but it's going to be soon probably. So I'm getting ready for the day and I'm using my new Blushed Nudes palette from Maybelline. So here's what it looks like. Super pretty. And then to start, I always use my Urban Decay Primer Potion to prime my eyelids. Now, I was telling a story about how I got into investing. So I'm going to start that story over. So my friend Kyle, he is a banker. I can't believe I have to tell this story all over again. I was like literally getting to the best part and then my internet went out. So my friend Kyle does like sales and banking and he's like really, really smart with money and he just like has a good understanding of it. So we talk about that a lot. I find it really interesting, like his take on things. And one thing he had been trying to get me into was investments. And I thought that investing would be like a waste of money because, you know, the stock market has such a, like, it, you know, depending on how the economy is, it depends on how the stock market is. And, you know, those two really kind of go hand in hand. So I didn't want to take the risk of investing. And I just didn't understand like the importance of it and why anybody would invest when they can just save their money, which having a savings is equally as important. I'm not saying one is more important than the other. But Kyle said that like you can save your money, that's great. But sometimes, you know, it gets to the point where your money is just sitting in a bank account when it could be sitting in investments and making money off of it. You know, you could be making a profit off of literally doing nothing and getting something in return. And it's the same thing as saving, except for you're making money off of your savings. And I'm like, okay, but what if you lose the money? You know, and he's like, well, you know, you're never really going to lose money if you have investments in good stocks, you know. And so that's just like the main idea of what we would talk about when it came to investing. So this one night I was talking to him and I was on the cusp of jumping in and doing investing, and he's like, yeah, I downloaded the app Robinhood. And I'm like, oh, Robinhood, you know, I've heard of Robinhood. And he's like, yeah, I downloaded it because my friend keeps talking about this Dogecoin, just over and over. Kyle, you got to get invested in Dogecoin. You got to get on board with this. And I'm like, oh, well, what's Dogecoin? And he's like, it's basically like the up and coming version of like the most popular cryptocurrency. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I remember when Bitcoin was like $2 or $3 a share. And, or whatever, I don't know if you call it shares with cryptocurrency. I don't really know that much about it, but I'm learning, you know, as the days go. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, this Dogecoin, they're talking about how it's eventually going to hit $1, and right now it's not even worth a penny. So I forget how much money he said he put in it. He's like, and if I was at a Bible study one time and they were saying how I should get invested in Bitcoin because it's going to be worth a lot and then you'll be really rich and a millionaire, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, whatever. That's what he said to himself about it. And he's like, and I wish I would have got involved in it because now it's really expensive for one share or coin or whatever you call it with cryptocurrency for one whole, you know, portion of it. It's like $60,000 to own one whole share of it. And you can invest less than that, but, you know, that's how much it's worth. And so he's like, I would be so wealthy right now. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so that's why I'm getting on Dogecoin. He goes, but I don't recommend that you start off with investments with Dogecoin. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, well, he literally just said that he wished he would have with Bitcoin. And I know I will wish that I had with Dogecoin. So at the time it was like 0.009 cents. So it wasn't even worth anywhere near a penny. In fact, I think it was less than that. I think it was only worth 0.007 or something. And so I'm like, while he's telling me not to do it, I bought $5 of it. And we were talking. I'm like, yeah, I just put some money in Tesla and Apple, whatever. And I'm like, and I did some money in Dogecoin. He's like, he calls me Elizabeth B. He's like, B, I specifically told you not to do that. And he's like, I mean, that's fine. I'm like, I know. He's like, I just don't want you to like lose a bunch of money. I'm like, well, it's $5. I would spend $5 on, pretty much anything. Like this palette I'm using is $5. Like, why wouldn't I try? He's like, okay, but just don't put tons of money into it just because it's so volatile and you could lose your money and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, I know, I get it. Like, I'm not going to put tons of money into it. So it got to the point where it was worth like 3 cents. And I was so excited because I had, money in that account, and it was a good amount. And so I was like making a profit off of it, and it was really cool to watch. Well, then it started to drop and I got nervous, so I sold all of it. And then I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. Like, it's probably going to go back up. And I'm glad I did. I ended up buying a little bit more. And I bought like, I don't remember how much I bought, but it ended up that yesterday it hit like 49 cents, which is, I don't even have words for that, because to think about what it was worth when I bought it, if I hadn't sold it, I would have over $4,000 right now, which is so much money just in one investment. And I don't have that much now. I still have a decent amount, and it's exciting because it's money that I would have previously just had sitting in a savings account, and now I've made a good amount of return on it, and it's just really exciting. And so it dropped back off to like 29 cents. It's like in the 20s right now. The last time I looked, I'm not sure what it's at the moment, but so yesterday I was talking about it at work, and then a little later in the day my boss was like, Elizabeth, what did you say that cryptocurrency was called? And there was this other lady in the office. She doesn't work in our office, but she's like my boss's best friend, I think. And I was like, Dogecoin. And the other girl, she's like, yeah, I invested in that too. And I'm like, what's it at right now? Because I hadn't checked it in like a couple hours. She's like, it's at 47 cents. I almost fell to the floor. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, so now I always harass my friend Kyle, and I'm like, you told me not to, and I wouldn't have any money, I would have missed out on it. So if you haven't, put just like a little bit of money into Dogecoin. You don't have to put thousands of dollars or hundreds even. Just do like 20 bucks. You lose 20 bucks, whatever. Pretend you're going to the casino and you gamble $20. If you're into that, like $20 is nothing to lose, but to not make a profit off of $20 when Dogecoin is just constantly, I mean, like it goes like this, like it'll go up and then it'll spike and then it'll dip. And it's kind of nerve-wracking, but if you don't have like millions and millions of dollars wrapped up in it, and it's not like your life savings is in it, you'll be fine. Even if your life savings is in it, I mean, might not be that bad of an idea. Just kidding, don't do that. That's not a good idea. But yeah, so it's really exciting to watch it go up and up and up, and I don't know, I'm just like really excited about it. And I'm excited to see if it ever does hit $1. I think that it could, because what happens is Elon Musk will tweet about Dogecoin. And so everybody just jokes around that Dogecoin is going to go to the moon because, Elon's like got his like whole moon project going on where he's going to go to the moon. I don't even know much about that anymore. I forget. But anyway, so Elon Musk tweets about that, and every time he tweets about it, Dogecoin like skyrockets, literally. Like yesterday he tweeted about it, I think, and that was when it almost hit 50 cents, which is just mind-boggling, because when I bought it, it wasn't even worth a penny. And now, and that was only in January. And so, like I said, it has like an ebb and flow, and it'll spike and dip and spike and dip, and like that's what gives me anxiety about it. But like in a good way, like it's really exciting to me to watch my money like it just blow up when I don't even do anything, like literally nothing other than hit a button to put money into this like savings. But, you know, like I said, it's important that you don't do anything, you know, ridiculous with it. Like, you don't want to put, if you have a car payment, you're not going to want to put like your car payment money in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just fun. Like, to me, it's fun. It would be worth it to lose the money, I guess. Like, lose a little bit of money, because I know that it's going to just continue to do well. And like, I do think about like, what if, hi Jesse, what's up, how you doing? I do think about like, what if it would do what Bitcoin did and it's worth as much as Bitcoin, and I just think it's really exciting. I don't know. It's just fun. I personally like investing. I think you can really just make a big profit off of it, and you know, it does kind of depend on the economy, so that's the only thing that's like scary about it, I guess. But you know, it's not like, you know, because I was talking to my coworker about it yesterday, and I was like, I feel like investments is sometimes a little bit like legalized gambling. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I understand why you feel that way, but gambling, you're literally giving that money away and you're not getting it back. With investments, you get to not only keep it, but make a profit off of it. And you're getting your money back and then some. You know what I mean? So, but the only thing that like I was always nervous about with investing is that the stocks do drop. Like right now, the stock market's not what it was when I started investing. So I feel like that's like another reason I like cryptocurrency, is because I don't feel like it's as dependent on the economy. Now, one thing about it is it's very volatile, so you never know if it's going to go up or down. So that's why I say don't do anything ridiculous with it. Like if you can't do more than like $5, then I just wouldn't, because it's not going to be worth it. But like $5 it's worth it to me to put like $5 in here or there and just see what happens. Like, I just find it really exciting. I just think it's so fun. I'm very passionate about Dogecoin. So I want to read more about Dogecoin because I just find it so interesting, and I don't know. And I think it's crazy how when Elon Musk tweets about it, not only does Dogecoin skyrocket, but I have a couple of other cryptocurrencies that I'm invested in that also skyrocket. And it's like, how can one man have that much influence on cryptocurrency? Like, it's crazy to me, especially something like Dogecoin that was originally meant to be like a joke. You know, it was a literal joke between two dudes that were like, this would be hilarious, like, let's just see what happens, just for fun, you know, whatever. I forget what year they started Dogecoin. I want to say it was in like 2017 or 2018. So it's not like a cryptocurrency that's been around for very long, but it's just, I can't stop saying it. It's just so interesting to me. I don't know. I never, like, my friend Kyle and I will have like hours and hours of conversation about investments, and he'll go on for like, one time he went on for like an hour about investments, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep going on about investments. But like, when he would talk about it, I would be so enthralled with what he was saying and hanging on every word and finding it so interesting, just investments in general. And I didn't think it was boring at all, and I like when he like goes on about it, because he just kind of teaches me so much, and he can answer pretty much every question that I have about it, and it's just really cool how investments work. And I never thought that it's something that I would be so interested in. And I'm also just interested in saving my money, but I feel like what I like about investments is I'm literally making money by putting money into a different type of, basically, savings in a sense. It's hard when I do lose money, but it's not like it's like thousands of dollars. So, I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you want, but for me, I just find it really interesting. So another thing that's been going on is I don't want to say I'm taking a break from dating, because that's not true. Like, I went on a date last night. What I'm doing, though, is being extremely selective about who I even go out with. Like, I used to be like, oh, it's just a date. Like, I'll go, you know, have a drink and talk to somebody and just see like what they're about. But then I would always end up basically falling for somebody that was just totally wrong for me. and it was just dangerous for my heart, and so I have decided to stop doing that. And recently I went out with someone who we just don't have the same belief system on so many different things, but I was like, it's okay, like we can be friends, whatever. And then I'm like, I literally in that friendship fell for him so hard. It was ridiculous. I don't even know how it happened, other than I guess obviously I put myself in a situation that I shouldn't have been in, but like still, I don't know, oh my God, I really liked him. And then he got like, I don't know, he was so mean though. Like I don't know how I missed that, like in the early stages of it. We talked on and off for like, from like December to like probably sometime in March, just on and off. Like we would get into a fight and then stop talking for like weeks, and then we'd start talking again, and it's just, I don't know, like it wasn't like it was like a super serious thing. We actually only met twice because he doesn't live near me. But yeah, he was just like so different from me and just not always nice. And like I need someone who's nice because I am surrounded by people, you know, that it's just, I just want to surround myself with people who are going to like build me up, and like I'll build them up. And that was something that I wasn't, like that wasn't a standard that I had previously, like before the last couple of dates I've been on. And like if a guy even shows any sign that he's not nice or that he's not going to stick around, you know, like I have convictions about certain things, and I feel like if they're not going to stick around like in those convictions, then it's not even worth it for me to go out with them. And so that's one thing that I've been more strict on, is just making sure that I'm not going out with somebody that is just totally wrong, even just when we're texting, you know, because you can kind of pick up on that if they're good for you or not. And I don't know, the guy that I went out with before though, I feel like I just wasn't paying attention to if it was right or not. And I can't really say like if I noticed if it was wrong or not in texting, but there were definitely questions that I could have asked him that I didn't, and I wish I would have, like before we went out, because that would have saved me like, you know, the attraction, and I wouldn't have had to meet him, and like the chemistry side of things, like, you know, when you meet somebody. And because I believe that because I'd never met him in person, and I believe that you can talk on the phone and FaceTime and text and like communicate all day long for months at a time, but when you meet in person, it's a totally different experience. Like at least from what I've been through, like it's totally different. Like the chemistry might not be there. They might, you know, their mannerisms are going to be different. Like you're going to see their body language. You're going to hear a different tone of voice. Like you're going to see them interacting with others. Like if you're out in public, like it's not going to be virtual anymore, and it's going to be a real life experience, which is so different from, you know, the persona that they could possibly be putting on through virtual conversation. And real life in-person conversation and interaction is so different, and it's so important to not like, I guess, give your heart away to somebody that you haven't met in person. And I decided that I really liked him like before I even really talked to him much. Like when we matched on Bumble, I was like, this guy is so cool, like I just really like him. Like I really like what he's about, you know. I don't know what it was for me, but now I'm much more cautious, even like in that stage of talking to somebody online. Like, is this guy really who he says he is? Like, am I picking up on anything, any sort of flag, orange, red, blue, green, that is telling me that this guy is not going to be, it's not going to end well, you know? And like, you have to take a chance sometimes. And obviously there's going to be times where things don't work out and you're going to be disappointed. And I get that. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. But I should have known before I went out with this guy that he wasn't for me. So my point is, I've been very, very selective with who I've gone out with and who I like pursue a second date with if we go out, you know. Like it's just very important. And another thing I've been really strict on is I will not go see a guy. If he lives far away from me, I will not go to him, because first of all, that's not safe in my mind. And I've done it before. The most I'll drive is like 40 minutes. Well, one time I did go out with a guy who was visually impaired and he couldn't drive, so that doesn't count. I'm not talking about something like that, but like if they just are lazy and just don't want to come see me, like that's a red flag to me, and that's not something I want. Like I had a guy be like, let's meet halfway, and I'm like, no, like I'm not meeting you halfway. Get your butt down here and come see me. You know what I mean? Like if you want to meet, like, and we start dating, you're not going to, like, I want to know that you're going to come here and see me. And like obviously I would go there, and but to me, like the guy should make that effort, because again, it's a safety thing. And I just have been really strict on that. I'm selective on where we meet. Like I go places that I'm very familiar with the area. Like even in my hometown, I'm very selective of what time we meet, and just like I try to get there before the guy, just for safety purposes. I don't know, I just feel better if I get there before him and I can scope out the scene before he's there, you know? But that's just me. Like, I'm not saying you have to do that, but these are just things that I've been doing, like, in the recent months. And I don't know. Like, I won't go to a guy's house either. Like sometimes I'll go on a date and, you know, it'll go really well, and they'll be like, okay, like, let's hang out again. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'd like to, you know, whatever. And they're like, and then, you know, we go about the next week or two and we're talking and, you know, continuing to get to know one another through texts and phone calls, and they're like, do you want to come over? No, I don't want to come over. I don't know you. I'm not coming to your house when I don't freaking know you. What is wrong with you? Like, I just don't understand that mentality, and they get so mad at me when I say that. And they'll be like, well, I'm not trying to do anything weird. And it's like, well, if you're not trying to do anything weird, then why are you mad? Like, you should be like, okay, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. Like, if you truly like me, you got to give me, like, time to be ready for that. Like, if I'm saying I'm not ready, like, it's not like I'm just hiding it and not communicating with you. Like, I'm literally saying I'm just not there yet. That's, like, to me, it's, sorry, dropped my brush. That's, like, on the same level as telling somebody that you love them, like, and getting mad because the other person isn't ready to say it back, or maybe they're not there yet. Like, that's not cool. Like, I don't know. Relationships can be complicated, but I just don't personally feel comfortable with going to a guy's house that I have only met twice or once or whatever. And I don't understand the mentality of them getting mad when I'm not comfortable with something. Little update here, I'm using my BB cream today for my foundation, and then I am going to fill my brows in with my e.l.f. eyeliner, and then for mascara I used my Colossal mascara by Maybelline. So I don't know, it's just, I'm just very selective and strict on these guys these days because they like to play games. Men are so strange, you're so right. Like, I just don't, to me, like, if a guy wants you to come over, he's trying to get something out of it. Like, I'm not saying he's gonna, like, hurt you physically or anything, but he's hoping that something's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no, like, that's not going to happen. I'm not even putting myself in that position to do that. Like, I need to get to know you. Like, I want something serious and I don't want to rush things. Like, let's just go get another drink or a cup of coffee, or like sometimes too, I feel like, are they cheap? Like, do they not want to pay for another date? Like, what is it? Like, and then another thing I think about is if you're having me come over to your house on the second date, to me, that just automatically tells me, like, that when we start dating, we're not going to go out and do stuff. You're just going to want to sit at the house all the time. And, like, I have been in so many relationships where the guy doesn't want to go do anything. He just wants to lay in bed and watch Netflix and cuddle. It's like, I like doing that. Don't get me wrong. If I like you, yeah, let's do it, you know? But to me, like, that's a guy that's always going to be trying to get something out of me, you know, physically. And I'm not here to do that for you. Like, I will, you know, I will be physically intimate with you. I'm saving myself for marriage, though. But beyond that, like, yeah, I will, you know, cuddle with you or kiss you or whatever, but it's not all I want to do. Like, I actually want to go out and do things, and that's how you gain 20 pounds in a relationship. Yeah, like, lazy. Like, no, let's go do something. I don't want to sit around. Also, for me, that stresses me out. So I lose weight when I am stressed, and like that kind of relationship stresses me out so bad, and I cannot sit still. Like, I can sit still, but I can't stay home night after night after night after night. And I wish that I could, but I start getting really anxious. I get cabin fever really bad. I want to go out and see people. Like, I'm very extroverted, so I kind of need somebody who is also extroverted. So anyway, that being said, I'm just being more selective of who I date. Enough said. I don't really know what else to say. I think your future husband is just under a rock somewhere. Girl, you're telling me. We got to start looking under rocks. Leave no rock unturned. That's what my mom used to say. Is that how the saying is? I think that's how it goes. I don't know. I don't know sayings. People will like say a saying like that to me, and they're like, maybe he's not on a dating app. Maybe he doesn't even have social media. Probably not. He's probably like, I don't know, stuck in 1775 or something, because that's how old-fashioned I feel like I am. Like, I need a guy that's like old-fashioned and like going to pursue me. However, I will say I know there's guys out there like that, because the guy I went on a date last night, and before my live stream crashed on my first one, I think I said that, and he seems like a real gentleman, but we'll see. You know, you cannot really tell if someone's like actually good on a first date. Like, you can kind of get an idea. I didn't notice any red flags, so that's good. He was really nice, and just like, and he also tipped our waitress really well, which I was so impressed with. I love when guys tip waitresses well, especially when I go on a date. I usually go to places that I frequent just for safety purposes. And I had a guy one time that I took him, well, I didn't take him, he took me to table 6, and he was mad. This was a couple years ago. I think I talked about this in a video. He was mad at the waitress about something ignorant. And so he left her only like a 10% tip. And at the time I was a server, and I was pissed. I was so pissed. Like, I didn't even know what to do. Heard it crash. I didn't even know what to do. I'm like, that's so uncalled for. Like, why would you? I didn't even say anything to him. But I don't wish I would have, but I think we went somewhere else after we went there, and I wish I just would have been like, yeah, I'm leaving. Goodbye. No. It's easier to tell in my phone if I need to blend more. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see my friend Maya today. I'm so excited. We do so much fun stuff. Like, I hang out with guys a lot, which I love. My guy friends, they're amazing, you know? And I even tell them that. I'm like, you're literally like amazing. I love you. But I need some girl time. Like, I do. I need to be with my chicks. My home girls. So I'm supposed to pick her up at like 3, which I don't even know what time it is. I can't really look because I'm doing a live stream, but I think this brow right here, I need to name my eyebrows. Sisters, not twins. But I still want to give them rhyming names. How about Keisha and... No, not Keisha. There's a girl on YouTube named Keisha, and I consider her my friend, so I feel like that's weird to name my eyebrow Keisha. Oh my gosh, I'm so weird. You guys get to see the weird side of me on these live streams, so if you watch them, it's a real treat for you. Okay, for real, I need to name my eyebrows, and I need to name this plant behind me, so if you can think of any names, especially for the plant, let me know. Let me know. I have this really weird desire to go to Kohl's today, and I don't know why, because I don't shop there. But my coworker, Mary, she got like these really cute boots from there, and she said they're really comfortable, and I'm like, I have to wear tennis shoes to work right now because of my chronic pain, and like I don't really like wearing them because it's kind of hard to style cute outfits with black Nikes. So she had these really cute boots on. I was like, oh, those boots are cute. She's like, they're so comfortable. And I'm like, oh, really? She's like, yeah. I'm like, where'd you get them? And she said she got them at Kohl's. And I feel like Kohl's is like the place for comfortable shoes. Like anytime I've gotten a pair of comfortable shoes, I feel like I've gotten them either at DSW or Kohl's. So I might head over in that direction. Plus I also have a TJ Maxx gift card that I want to use. But if I'm hanging out with Maya, I don't know how all that's going to work. Maybe I'll go tomorrow. Oh, side note, vlog week is coming up. So it starts technically Monday, but I am going to upload tomorrow a video. I'm so excited. It's going to be a fashion video. I'm so excited. It's my celebrity lookbook video. I'm so excited to upload it. I think it's going to do really well. I think everybody's really going to like it. And the outfits are fire, if I do say so myself. Not because of my style, but because of the celebrity I picked. So I hope you guys are excited. Oh boy, I'm getting tired of doing the same makeup looks over and over. I feel like I just do the same thing week after week. Okay. Blush is like looking a little strange today. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little more with this little palette here. Give my eyes an extra little pop of something, something. You know what I'm saying? I just need a little more color in there. I'm using this shade right here, this like gold color. I think that's so pretty. Gives my eyes a little more of a good feel. I'm getting hungry. I've got to eat some lunch. I don't know what to eat for lunch. Lunch has been a really hard meal for me to decide what I want to eat. But I do know I want to take some pictures today, so when I go take pictures, I feel like I might get like Chick-fil-A or Cane's or something, which would be so good. One thing is like Chick-fil-A, the one here, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. I feel like it's just never overly fresh. I don't know if it's because the line is always like to the road, which is like, the road is like a long way from the actual drive-through, but it's literally to the road half the time. And it's wrapped around the building like twice, and like people are like coming in from different entrances, and like, I don't know if that's why the food doesn't taste fresh, because it's like not by the time it gets to me. But I just like don't love the one by my house. There's one like an hour away that's usually pretty good, but I'm not driving an hour for Chick-fil-A today. Oh, my hair is soaking wet, and I just want to get this video filmed and done with, but it's going to be a little while before I can do that. I usually use my brush, eyeshadow brush to part my hair. And it's complicated because I don't want to mess the curl up. But as you can see, I don't know if that's possible. I need to scrunch it a little more. It's important to get all the layers of my hair scrunched like the perfect amount so that the curl looks the way I want it to. That was a lot of scrunching. Okay, so now I'm gonna put my lipstick on, and then, well, actually I'm gonna hold off on the lipstick because I'm gonna eat and then let my hair dry a little more, so. Okay, guys, that concludes this week's live stream. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, night, weekend, week, whatever it is when you're watching this. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my celebrity lookbook video. So excited. Bye.